All right, another day, another podcast. So here's where we're at. A couple years ago, I purchased some recording equipment, and the plan was I'm going to take this podcast seriously. I'm going to record it in my apartment, set up a little studio, and I proceeded to not use any of it and just record the thing on my phone as I'm walking around the neighborhood. Then a week ago, I said, no, we got to do this. We got to do this right. So I got some portable equipment that I bought, and it is now sitting on the floor, and I am recording this podcast on my phone as I walk through the streets. So once again, it's become this pattern. I should just not do that. I should just accept the fact that I'm going to record it on my phone, and the sound quality is going to be what it is, and I'm going to continue to put it out there. I'm not sure if anyone's going to hear it. Maybe it's like if a podcast falls in the forest and no one is around to hear it, was it ever a podcast? Or at this point, is it just a diary? I think that's where we're at. Without an audience, it's it's content. But that's what I love about the term content. Content creators. They never tell you what the content is. Never tell you if the content's, there's no metric on the quality of the content. So we're doing this. I am also in this situation where there's other people walking around, and I'm self-conscious about podcasting in front of other people. I think I'd rather be nude in front of other people than podcast in front of other people. But then again, it just looks like I'm talking on the phone. So if I may be doing this, and then if somebody walks past, I may start to act like I'm talking to you on the phone. So don't freak out if in the middle of this I was about to say conversation with I don't know who. But in the middle of this conversation, I suddenly say, so then anyway, dear, I think we should think about the Hamptons this summer. I think if I say dear or honey, they're immediately going to know that I'm lying. And he's like, no, he's single. He's podcasting. We can see right through it. I've been thinking about how when I was younger, like there was a type of humor, Naked Gun, Spaceballs, Mel Brooks. I was like, that's what I want to do. And the older I get, especially in stand-up, it seems that people just seem to enjoy it better when I blatantly share my horror. When I just share how bad things are for me, people just seem to enjoy it. Even if there's not a punchline, I think they would rather have that. No, we just want the naked, raw despair of your life, please. There's a kid who went up to me once and he said, what do you do? And I said, I'm a comedian. He said, tell me a joke. And I said, I'm alone. And he just started laughing. And as he walks away from it, I'm thinking, but does it count? Where's the artistry? And then maybe the artistry is, it's not about inventing the jokes. I remember I had this improv teacher who said, don't invent, discover. It's not about inventing the jokes. It's about discovering that I already am the joke. So I found out that cavities. I went to the dentist. I have cavities. I'm not brushing well enough. That's what happened there, I think. And I am down on myself for having cavities. I should know better. I should do a better job brushing. When I found that out, I just got really depressed. Got depressed. I continued to be depressed, but about something else. On the highway of depression, I merely changed lanes, but I'm still on the same highway. Why did I get depressed? You know why? Because I feel like I let my mother down when I found out that I had cavities, because she was always, you got to brush your teeth, you got to take care of your teeth. Take care of your teeth, Josh, you got to take care of your teeth. And I feel like I let her down. It just comforts me to know that maybe one day if I win the Oscar, she'll be in heaven saying, yeah, but he's still got fillings. No, she wouldn't say that. I'm being facetious. Yeah. Talked to my dad today. I've been talking to him every Sunday. Now that Mom's gone, trying to check in with him every week. I actually feel like, I think he's doing a little bit better. Knock on wood. This is where I'm going to let myself be obsessive compulsive and actually knock on wood. Poo poo poo. But I think that there was less talk of, if only I had done this or only I had done that. He stopped it. He started to go there, but then he kind of stopped it. He didn't even really start to go there. He stopped it. He said, what he said was, I'm trying to transition to it is what it is, or what is versus what could have been. And I think he's beginning to kind of get used to it. So hopefully that's a good sign. I don't know, maybe I'm hoping he finds another, I don't want to say another life per se, but I hope he finds joy. That would be nice. But that it also really wouldn't be standard issue in our family to do that. What am I saying? Yeah, it'd be nice if he had learned to fly. We don't do joy. We're not into joy. If we never come out of the day going, oh, that was a good day today. I think we came out of the day going, oh, well, I didn't have to spend as much money as I thought. All right, I'll take it. That for us. Maybe what we have to do, here's what my family has to do. We have to redefine what the word joy means to work for us. So I think what you would call barely acceptable, that's joy for us. Maybe even neutral is joy for us. I like that. That feels good. You know what else feels good? I got to be honest with you. Doing this podcast. It's dangerous. Why is this dangerous? Because I'm basically trying to work stuff out for stand-up in front of nobody. And my concern is, if I feel like I come up with something good here, I immediately go, well, no one else is laughing, so it doesn't count. And that's true. It doesn't count until other people laugh. I know this isn't the first time I've talked about this on this podcast, but I think the reason why I keep coming back to doing it like this is because I have this feeling that until I really let go of the goals. Like, I'm not saying don't have goals in my life, but until I really let go of needing them, relying on them, holding on to them, that I'm not going to be able to express what I want to express the way I want to express it. So it's this weird balance of, I know what I want to achieve, but I have to know what I want to achieve, but at the same time, let go of trying to achieve it. The word is trust. Maybe I just need to trust myself. Well, I wouldn't do that. I know myself. I wouldn't trust myself as far as I could throw myself, which is not that far considering my lower back. But now I'm just being facetious. Let's go deeper, though. It just seems to me whenever I talk to the people who, what was the big break, or when, it's always a surprise to them. I had no idea this was going to happen like this. It just happened. So if I get to the point where I have no idea that it's just going to happen the way it happens, if I can get to that point of not suspecting, then it'll happen. But the problem is, if I'm trying to not try, I'm still trying. This is my problem. I can't try to not try. Then I'm just trying at not trying. Which makes me think that maybe I need to just try. Just accept the fact that I'm going to keep trying and continue to try. It could be that simple. Here's another problem sometimes, is that where the jokes are concerned, I think it was Maron who said this, Mark Maron. What other Maron is there? Well, that's not fair. I'm sure there's plenty of Marons. There's plenty of Marons who have worth, including Mark Maron. But it was comedian Mark Maron who was saying that, in the world of writing a joke, you do have to take concepts. We have to take concepts that are complex and simplify them for the sake of the joke. And sometimes, I think where he was explaining that was sometimes with like race humor. I'm talking about being Jewish. I'm sometimes to write the joke, I've got to rely on, the stereotypes, right? And the problem is, I will see that sometimes, and I'll go, it's not that simple. And I have trouble with that. So I can't enjoy what I'm doing when I'm writing the setup. Like, there's always has to be qualifications. I can't just write, so I'm Jewish. I have to write, so I'm culturally Jewish at points. And already the setup is too long. I need to interrupt this train of thought by, I'm walking in the suburbs of Burbank near the hill, and there's this bright light. I don't know, I think it's just for a house or a restaurant or something, but it's this bright light that's almost looks like a searchlight. I know it's not a searchlight. But when it's the one light on a hill, there's kind of this almost spiritual / foreboding / mystical element of the one light on the hill. It's very poetic. It's the kind of thing, like, pick your genre. If it's a tragic romance, it's the man who's turning on the light, and his wife died 50 years ago, and every night in June, every June, every summer solstice, the spirit of his wife comes and they have a conversation. And this is suddenly turning into, I think, a Noah Coward play of some kind. And in every conversation, she always says to him, I love you. And he says, I love you too. And then about 10 minutes in, she's droning on about the afterlife, and he's realizing, now I do miss her, but at the same time, I don't miss this. Boy, she can just keep talking and talking, can't she? And now suddenly, I'm talking about the relationship between myself and my mother. And the same kind of thing where that's where that came from. Although, why did it go to lovers? Oof. There's that. This got edible. Oedipal, not edible. Oof. Which somehow makes it twice as edible. And every time I walk by, there's the dog. He always barks. I don't know how many times. What can I do to tell this dog that I'm not a threat? How can't you smell my lack of muscles by now? How can you not smell? What is it about me that thinks I'd have a shot? Yes, I know it's your territory. I get it. Yes, I know. I'm aware. Yes, you own your own property. Good for you. I always feel better when I don't know if anyone's listening to this, but the reality is I do feel better when I talk through this. This is the only time I feel better, is getting it out of my system. I like that term better than art, by the way. I'm getting it out of my system. That feels better to me. It seems to be when it works the best, is when I'm getting it out of my system. Vomiting. That's the word I like instead of art. Vomiting. You can call it whatever you will. I call it vomiting. If I'm trying to make art, it doesn't work. But if I vomit, then, according to some, it might be art. And you know what? Hey, by that regard, this should become the most popular podcast ever, right? Because all I'm doing here is vomiting. I'm trying to keep it vomiting. I'm trying not to, if I try to be funny, then it's no good. I'm trying to just be full vomit here with you, because I respect you. All right. We're doing two things that I hate doing, exercising and podcasting, and I'm killing two birds with one stone. Isn't that beautiful? This is how we find the solution. Hey, another thing I did, there were some Ladyfingers that were just left out for anyone to eat. I did not eat them. I came close. But then I thought to myself, well, I guess I want to live longer than not, so I better slow down on the sugar. And I didn't do it. Look at that. I had willpower. You know what I did instead of eating those Ladyfingers? I did a podcast. Instead of eating sugar. And the world is possibly worse off for that. This feels like a good end point. It'd be nice if it was 20 minutes. I'm looking right now. What is it? 19 minutes and 12 seconds. Look at that. All right. Good. I feel good about this.